Hey beautiful people, how are you doing? It's me back with another episode. My podcast is on Spotify and other podcast listening applications. It's Daily Talks with Leah. So in today's episode, even here on YouTube, I just want to talk about how my life has been, and I just want to open up and be vulnerable, and maybe somebody can relate with me and tunaweza sukumana kwa hii journey, because what life has been teaching me is that we need to be just courageous in everything. And I'm talking about career-wise. Yeah, so career-wise, I want to tell you a little bit about myself career-wise. So from a while back, like from when I was in high school? No, in primary school. I was in the journalism club. I really wanted to be a journalist, by the way. Come to think of it, I was in the journalism club. I was in the debate club. That was in primary school. And I was a very good opposer or proposer or Sagittarius. Later I came to realize that Sagittarius ni kaa prefect wa hiyo koti. But when I was in primary school, my friend, if I was a Sagittarius, hey, and then you start making a lot of noise, nini, mi ningekutoa nje haraka sana. And then there's a time I was Madam Speaker. Maybe one day I'll be the Speaker of the National Assembly. You never know. Yes, I always loved to be Madam Speaker, so that when people are talking, they can address me. And then I was also in leadership positions, by the way. I know I punished so many people. I am sorry. I punished you. In primary school, being the prefect, you could punish people. Like if they're making noise, you could tell them to sweep. Come to think of it, if I ever punished you, please forgive me. Forgive me. It was just the childishness in me. And then, when you're given a little bit of power, you feel like yourself. And then I wrote noisemakers. What? By then, I wrote a lot of noisemakers. But at times, Mr. Wawero, may your soul rest in peace, our head teacher. Hey, so he would ask at times for noisemakers, and then I had not written any because I was also a noisemaker. So my friends, those who we used to share a table with, I would just sacrifice them. I'm sorry about that. If I sacrificed you and I wrote you as a noisemaker, and in the real sense we were making noise together, but my name is not there, but your name was there, I'm sorry about that. So I know you may deviate, but anyway, so what I want to tell, what I meant is that I really wanted to be in front of a camera. Those are things I wanted. Like nilikuwa najiona like mimi nitakuwa journalist. So when I went to high school, I loved English and Swahili. I used to go for Swahili symposiums and Swahili contests. Kwanza for storybooks, akina Utengano. Hey, it was fasihi andishi and fasihi sijui what. Hey. Those ones, I was good at them. Not good, I was excellent. I used to go for contests. People who used to go for contests. There were people who are good in that thing. I hated my Swahili teacher, but I loved the language. Do I still love it? I don't know. So, because I wanted to be a journalist. We used to call them news anchor. I wanted to be a news anchor. I would see them on TV, the way they're dressed, and then I'm like, where? Ata mimi? And then you'd hear they have sijui dressing allowance. Na venye niko napenda fashion. Dressing allowance. Kwanza nikisikia kuna dressing allowance, my friend, I'm like, I will be a journalist. I have to be a journalist. So when we chose courses for the first time, journalism, and I also loved mathematics and business studies, so I wanted accounts, BCom. Because at that time, BCom was a thing. Hey, so it was BCom and journalism. Those are the courses I chose. Hey, so then we did KCSE. Things happened though. The thing that happened is, now when it was time to choose courses, now ile ya ukweli, wacha hiyo ya madoido, ile ya ukweli, ile yenye you have your results here, and now you have to choose courses. I did not have any guidance. And that's why I'm even doing this episode. I did not have any guidance, by the way. Nobody told me, like, if you do this, this is marketable, this is not marketable. So we went to Nairobi University. What was the name of hiyo nini? JAB. Yes, me ni waenzi za JAB. I am that old. So we went to Nairobi University, and then you could find a list on the notice board showing you like courses and the aggregate points, and then what the mandatory subjects that those courses needed. So you just check, and then that time I had a boyfriend who was in my university. So I wanted to, so he was like, you need to choose my university so that you can come. Imagine that may thunder strike you. Imagine that guy, kumbe even he had another girlfriend over there. That is another story for another day, because it was so painful. He was my first love after high school. Nonsense. Anyway, the naive me. So I chose courses. Did I even know what these courses were? No. Did I know that I could Google for who? Me, I just chose courses. This one sounds good. Sure. This one sijui what? Sure. Hey. So that's how I ended up doing ecotourism and hospitality management. Bachelor of Science. Please, don't forget it's a Bachelor's of Science, okay? Don't forget. It is a Bachelor's of Science in ecotourism and hospitality management. So me, in my mind, I was like, now I will travel this world. I know I've traveled a little bit, but I've not traveled as I would want to, but I know I'm going to travel as I want to very soon. I know. That passport needs more stamps, buana. Yes. Anyway, so I chose the course. And then when I went to school, I was very demotivated. That's another story for another day. So I didn't even know when people are changing courses. I never went for orientation. Orientation for who? For what? Me, I was just demotivated. Yani life ilikuwa tu inaenda. Like, yes, I've woken up. Tusonge tuende. Ikue usiku. Let it be night. Then morning. And then I will continue with this thing. But they in campus, were you not for my two friends, Triza and Brenda? I salute you. Because you guys do not know how much you played a big role in me finishing campus, because I was demotivated. I was always stressed. They used to wonder, when is this one? She has stress all the time. So they would pass by my hostel. Those times when I was living in the hostel, then they would call me and we would go to class. And then at times I would go for a cut knowing nothing. And then they would pass their papers. I would copy and get that curtain over that. By the way, because I'm laughing, I was a depressed person. I was very, very, very depressed, by the way, in campus. But that's a story for another day. But see, we made it. We graduated. Then now we started jobs, those odd jobs. I've never worked with my degree. Okay, I went for attachment and an internship for 3 months in an organization that used to pay us 5,000 per month. Oh my goodness. So what I'm trying to say from all this motion I'm giving is, we may think, or you may have a dream, but you do not even know how to get to where you want to get to. Imagine, just trust God. I know I'm not where I want to be at yet, but I am happy that there's YouTube, there's podcasting. Now I'm doing journalism. You know, like, God has redirected me to what I wanted in the first place. At times I do not even know how to do this, because probably I do not have the know-how. But nowadays I'm learning and I am open and I am committing myself. I know one time it's going to itajipa. as long as you're committed to whatever it is that you're doing, you have a dream, or you had a dream when you were young, and then somebody said something and then it just broke. So as I was saying, you have a dream, or maybe you had a dream initially. For example, there's this friend of mine, okay, acquaintance, okay, someone who we follow each other on Twitter, and I see he has been looking for a job for a very, very long time. He has 2 kids. He does not know how to fend for them. His health is bad and all that. And then people keep telling him, just trust in God. I know at times someone could be telling you to trust in God, and then you're like, ay Mungu, when is it happening? I've also been there. I've wondered, like, hey man, God, I need a break from this. Have you ever gone for so many interviews until you're like, I won't even prepare for the other one, because you know the questions that will be asked? Like, you already go for those interviews with a bad mentality of, probably they not even select me, you know. And then you probably do not have anyone to run to. You know that you have to make rent. You don't have anybody to borrow that rent from. Not that they're not people, they're people, but nobody is there for you. You feel alone in this world. You just feel, my goodness, so what will happen? Where will I get food? This is Nairobi, or this is wherever you're living, and then you're like, hapa hakuna mama yangu. Maybe your parents are not in a position to assist. Maybe your parents are in a position to assist, but they do not even care. Maybe you do not want to tell them because you feel like they've already wamekusomesha, they've educated you, so you're like, so now what else can they do for me? Life happens. But what I would want us to all know is that we are not supposed to give up. No, giving up is not, giving up should not be in our vocabulary. No. Totifataire, we are not supposed to. No. Even when you feel like, man, so now what else? What next? What? Leah, what? Imagine, just hold on. Even me, I'm just holding on. Right now, I am holding on. So people nowadays, you know, for the past 1 year, in fact, it's 1 year, 1 month, I've not been working. I've just been working as a stay-at-home mom. Like, my job description is taking care of my baby, of our baby, of my daughter. That is the job that God has given me right now. That is what I'm telling myself. Maybe I do not have a check at the end of every month, but when I see her growing, I am grateful. And I'm grateful that I have somebody who is supporting me. You know, now I imagine somebody who do not have a job, but to have a child to take care of. It's stressful. It is. Especially in this economy, whereby mboga moja ni 100 bob. And it's not even worth that 100 bob or 80 bob. Unaona ile, the cabbage, someone is telling you 80 shillings. You're like, my goodness. Goodness gracious. Life imekuwa ngumu, sikatai. But can we just encourage one another? Let us share our stories so that people will stop feeling as if they are all alone. Because, you know, you can hear somebody's story and then you compare it to your story and then you're like, weh, onadikere horu. Hey, dite horu, man. So if you're thinking of giving up and then you hear my story and then you're like, weh, hey. Yes, that is how it should be. Let us learn how to talk to one another in a good way. Encourage somebody. For example, like right now, you could comment down below how you've struggled or something. And then something else that God was talking to me, or something else that was being revealed to me. You remember when Moses, watoto wa Israeli walikuwa wanatoka kule Egypt. So Moses, you know what God asked him? Like, what is in your hand? He was like, si alikuwa na ile kijiti. And then the staff, it's called a staff. Yes, the staff. He was told to place it down, and then it became a snake. What is in your hand? You know, maybe that is what God is asking you. Because I have come to realize I have had jobs. But I was reflecting and wondering, like, these jobs I've been having, why was I going to work in the first place? Why are you going to work? Do you know most of us go to work because we have to pay rent, and we have to eat, and we have to commute, and we have to have money so that we can go to the hospital when we are sick. But we do not love whatever it is we are doing, and we are living sad lives, by the way. Sad lives, because you're not fulfilled, you're not, hakuna furaha, you do not enjoy whatever it is you do, because some of these working environments are toxic, they are bad. Like somebody asked me, like, why did you not go back to work after your maternity leave? I did not have a maternity leave. Do you know what was expected of me? What was expected of me was give birth, come back to work. You know what they tell you? You can take as much time as you want, but we're not paying that maternity leave. You can come back whenever you want. But what happens? Yes, you can go back. But there's a lady colleague of mine who was giving me a story, and she was telling me that she gave birth today, and the following morning, they were asking her, how many sales have you made today? Imagine. And she has given birth today, the following morning. Is that even humane? Do you know, by the way, I just thought about that, and then I was like, God, maybe there's something else for me. Maybe there's something else for me. By the way, I felt so detached to that organization. I felt so detached. So even after like my maternity leave, in quotes, was over, I never even reached out to go back. In fact, nobody even asked me, why are you ready to come back to nobody? Okay, nobody. No, who cares if you're going to work or not? Before I had even given, before, you know, like my last month, my 9th month, I was told to rest so that the baby's lungs can have developed. Nini. You know, the day I stopped going to work, they had already advertised the job. And there were like 3 ladies already called in to come and work, which is a good thing because it is employment. But what are the working conditions? Kwani we do not have a right to have good working conditions? Ama we just take whatever. If you cannot work under those working conditions, there are other people who want jobs. And these HRs who have that mentality may thunderstrike you. Because imagine everybody is human. Like, treat employees nicely, and the outcome it will be better. But if your organization is just a washing machine, like someone comes, goes, you train other people, they go, what are you doing? But anyway, as long as you're making your profits or you're making your millions, you do not care. So by the way, I never felt encouraged to go back to work. I was like, so now I'm going to start working. I work. It's good because at the end of the month you'll get your pesa and everything. But then when I want to get another child, or is it that they're punishing you for getting pregnant? You know, you can think about it like that. Because I've worked for another organization that used to give even maternity leave kwa casuals. Casuals, these people who are paid like 600 bob a day or 300, yani, like they are not permanently employed there. Hata siko ni contract ya 3 months, 2 months, hivyo renewable. Casuals, ama they come and then they're told, oh, hakuna job. Imagine those ones, they are given maternity leave, paid. But there are those who, they want you to work, but as long as you're not making sales for them, you're not of any use to them. But that thing angered me. And I always see the COO and the way he posts, because of this Women's Day. You see this International Women's Day? You should see how he was celebrating women online. And then I was like, can you just try and regulate your whatever in your workplace and just accommodate women? By that thing, mi kwangu iliniuma sana, and I feel for people who hawana option but to work, because probably they are the only breadwinners. imagining how giving birth is a big thing. I know I'm not the first person to give birth, and I'm not the last one. At sahizi, there are people who are giving birth. There are people who are going to give birth right now na kesho wako job because hawana otherwise. But why should it be like that? Because by the way, giving birth is not a small thing, and that's why there are so many people are stressed out here. People have postpartum depression because yani you feel so overwhelmed. For example, for first-time moms, hey, you know that thing, it's not bread and butter. As I was saying, this thing, it's not bread and butter. Let's just be good to one another. Have good working conditions for your people. You know, even though it's your house help, naenda, maybe she gets pregnant and then she goes home, but she will come back. Just give her maternity leave. Be human. It costs nothing to be human, by the way. High cost kitu. And you know, let's just pay it forward. That's my 2 cents. You know, that's my 2 cents. Let's pay this kindness forward. Be good to people. You know, I know you did not ask them to give birth, but please just be nice. Just have good working conditions. If you are HR, hey, I've been HR. I know. I think I've been everything. We just need to be good. Don't be the toxic. By the way, my previous working place, I had the best colleagues. It was the best working environment, especially when your colleagues are there, but the pressure and now things like those ones, they were just I don't know. I just don't know. But why would you not give people maternity leave though? Paid, man. Someone has worked for you for 1 year plus. Even though they were not bringing a lot of sales, you just be human. Or maybe then pay them half the amount. Yani just, you know, so that even, not only for me, so that even these women who, they're the breadwinners, they can at least bring up their children for the first 3 months nicely, and then now they can come back rejuvenated, and then they will work for you very nicely, you know. But anyway, that's what I think. Those are just my thoughts. I could be wrong anyway. But so now I was thinking, so I was thinking, like, so now my daughter is 1 year old. Leah, are you planning on just staying at home? No, I'm not just planning. I need to make money. Imagine for a whole year and your account has nothing. Umekuwa tu kitoa. Inatoa pesa wapi? Ya chama. Hakuna pesa ya chama. Sasa chama, ukaje kwa chama na hauna pesa? You know, utatolea watu pesa wapi? So unatoka chama. By then nilitoka chama. Okay, and that was a bad idea. Ningekaa tu kwa hiyo chama. But anyway, so now I was thinking, so what next? So I go online, natafuta to jobs, I look for jobs. And then I remember the interview process, and then I'm like, my God, I feel demotivated. It does not mean that I'm not looking for a job, but I wish to be the employer. That is what I would want. I would want to be the employer by them. I was just thinking, and then I'm like, how about I be the employer? Why is it that we always have that mentality of, I have to be employed? I want to be the employer. And I'm putting this out into the world. I want to be the employer. So I will employ, and you know, people in my organization. So I should get an organization name, and then I know what I'll be doing, and then we start from there. We get started, and you could drop some ideas hapo chini. Or YouTube could be my business, right? And then I'll have an editor, I'll have a camera person, and then I'll have, you know, this foundation. That is what I'm dreaming right now. This is what I want. I've been talking for almost 30 minutes. Anyway, tell me, how are you career-wise? Mko wapi? Mi hapo ndio niko career-wise. Unasikia, the way I've given you so many stories, that is how my career life is right now. Iko hapa na pale, it iko everywhere by the way. But it does not mean I've not trained. Nimetrainiwa na ALX by the way. Nilifanya virtual assistant. I can be a virtual assistant by the way. This is me pitching. You know, if you need somebody to manage your emails, manage your life for you, I'm here, I beg. My email is leah.mu.wahome@gmail.com. I'll put it in my description box, both in my podcast and on my channel. If you need somebody to just assist you, to write those proposals for you, to manage your emails, to set meetings for you, holla at me. But it is virtually. Yes, I am a trained virtual assistant. I've been assisting one person with a few things here and there. I do not mind having another person assisting. You know, I would want to assist as many people as possible. That could also be a side hustle, by the way. So if you need a virtual assistant, holla at me, by the way. Wherever you are, just write me an email and we can work this out. I am very professional, by the way, very well trained. My English is good, both written and spoken. Very good. Yes, I will not disappoint you. We shall communicate on the prices. Hatuwezi shindano, hatutigirigano. We cannot, you know. But thank you so much. If you've watched up to right now, I am grateful. Now it's 1:32 a.m. Let me try and catch some sleep before the little girl wakes up, and then I shall see you in the next one. Thank you so much. And najua nimekuwa nikiangalia screen badala ya camera, but please forgive me. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. I will be back with the short videos, you know, the 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Yes, I'm working on that. I'll be back very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.